This video is in response to the man like Dan Koff, and he said this in response to my aim chopping video that I did with the EMU E4X hardware sampler. I'll put a little link to that video up here if you want to see how to do that. It's all about aim and chopping, how to get that going if you've just bought a sampler. Yeah, he said you know, because I basically did a video how to chop up the Amen and stuff, and Dan's saying that he says I may be thinking too simple, I think that's what he means, but can the sampler be looped and chopped in renoise and the samples then chopped back to the EMU sampler? Now that's a very good point, guys. Like, that video that I did there, it was just showing you guys how to chop the old school way, like before renoise, before any kind of DAWs that we've had. You know, we wasn't able to do that. The only place you could really sample is in your sampler, right? And probably on the Amiga. But you wanted to get that 16-bit quality, you had to go straight to the sampler. So this is the way we had to do it. There was no way of timing stuff up. But I wanted to show you guys the foundation way of doing it, so that later on down the line, you've got all the key skills to troubleshoot. Because you find when you start from ground zero on any project and you learn all of the hardcore ways of doing things, like for example as a DJ, mixing on flipping old Pioneer belt drive turntables made it a breeze when I was mixing on techniques, but often went to raves where people have started out on techniques. You know, if there was a bit of a troubleshooting thing going on where something went wrong, the pitch wasn't working properly or whatever, guys was struggling with it because they didn't have the foundation. Same with the printing. You get an old time DTG printer, you work your way up, you troubleshoot with that, and then eventually when you get on the Rolls Royce ones now, it's a breeze. If something goes wrong, you're not standing there going, oh my god. But it's a very, very good point. Big up Dan. And today I'm going to show you the cheat hack way. The scene is now, you know, we're working with new software and old hardware, so we've got to combine the two now to get the best of both worlds. The processing power of the old hardware, you know, use it however you want for your experimental purposes, and then bang, come back into the software world, and if where it's easier for you to produce, if albeit, and just there's no rules to how you should be working. So I'm going to show you guys how we would go about doing that and the different types of ways to chop. Now in renoise I've got an Amen loop, typical Amen loop, no processing, nothing on it, just straight, right? Now if you're using renoise, even recycle for that matter, and we'll do a different video on recycle if you want to see how that rolls, you've got a slice command here. So you would click that and it sort of butchers up the slicing. You need to take your keyboard up an octave on renoise. I do that by hitting the star key on my number pad, and as you can see, it chops it up into, it butchers it into little bits. Yeah, now that is not very good it's not a very good cut, so you have to monitor it. You have to go right click here and you have to delete the cuts you don't want. Now this is chopping into 16ths, right? Now you could chop it up into little 16ths, right, and sample each one individually into your sampler and then put it back together, and that will give you a more kind of 94, 95 jungle feel, depending on it how you write though, because at the end of the day it's how you write your music that determines the feel and sound of it. Yeah, but if you're talking about eras and when this style first came about, I remember my first PC was arranged by a man like Pascal. Shout to you, mate. His brethren used to make PCs, and I remember paying quite a big buck for it, and he hooked me up with a PC that was running, I think, Windows 95, and it was just a whole alien new world to me buying a PC. But yeah, the whole recycle scuzzy thing didn't come along until I'd say about 94 times there, and a lot of that music there, a lot of the beats, true players, people like that, they were chopping up beats like literally into segs. and it gives you like a different feel. You get that kind of choppy feel, which you can get round and make it sound a lot more tidy. And you get all your beats chopped up. Make sure all your chops are like tidy, none of this little overlap, giving you that dirty, messy sound, because that will actually make your break sound messy. Make sure all your start points are pretty tight so that there's no gaps at the start, because that will also make your beat sound really wobbly and like not too tight, and you'll be sitting there trying to figure out why your beats don't sound perfect. And these are little things that you learn as you go along. You see there's an untidy one there, there's 2 segs there, so I'll bring that back, bring this one back, and then always you put the cymbal on its own. You always want that cymbal on its own, possibly even loop that up. And there you go. So there you have it. So from here now, if you wanted to, right, you could, you've got options here, I believe. You could, I think you could just save your all samples. No, actually don't do that. That's something completely different. So, all right, so from here now, you can destructively cut these, but all you would do is just play them one by one into your sampler. Right, so the process of chopping that up would be simple. You go over to your old sampler like that, right, and you just play one for one, and you sample each one individually. If you need to see a full tutorial, I could give you a full tutorial, but this is just a brief on the process, right? Now, this would be chopping up into 16ths. So because you do it into 16ths now, you don't need to time up the whole sample. You're going to time it up. It will work pretty much with any tempo, right? Now, here's the old school way now. So the old school way would be to time it up in renoise, like what you're saying. There's multiple ways you could hack this. Now, I'll show you the old school way of doing this. Let me just get rid of this sampler again. Right, so I'll show you the old school way of doing this, and that's like literally you would get, this is how we used to first do it. So you have your foot and your hat, right? Obviously everyone might have done it a little piece different, but this is how I did it. So that was another piece. And obviously you want your aiming to be the right speed. This used to get cut up with this piece. That kind of flavour, yeah? And then we had this little piece here, which always comes in handy for a nice little shuffle. Yeah? And then, right, so then you got them 2 there, right? So let's just put that into perspective. So we got... Right, it's very tricky now because, and all right, so let's set the BPM up. So I'll say you're looking at about 168 maybe. Actually, no, it's a bit fast. Say about 160. Yeah, look. All right. Then you got 2 snares, you got that one, and you could do a couple of little 1, 2, 1, 2. So yeah, so you get the drift of it. So around about 160 BPM, you can hear there's a little bit of a pinch on the sample. If you're on those double foots, and that's usually because it's too slow. So if you turn up the sequencer, bit better. Let's go a bit faster. There you go. It's tidy now. 162. Yeah. So now I've got all my little bits cut up, and they're good for a 162 run. Right. So at this stage now, I'll go into my sampler. Bosh. Turn that on. Right. And then I'm going to sample each bit individually. Right. So I'd have to mute the mic. As you can see, I'm coming out on the mic. Yo, Jungle is. Yeah, I'm coming out on the mic. So turn the mic off real quick, and I'm just going to see if I could sample quickly, see how that works out, yeah? Right, so that's all we need, right? So I'm going to turn off the mic now and do that, yeah? So just checking it out, making sure it's all okay, right? So let's go to where are we? Yeah, turn off the mic. Let me turn off the mic. So I've got to load my console program. I've got a console program here. I've got my mic wired into my UAD sound card. It's a lot more easier. All right, so Bosch, let me just turn off the mic, and then I'm going to quickly do that. Just study what I do as I do it. If I need to let you know, I'll just stop, right? Yeah, just stop and tell you what's going on. Right, so as you can see, I've got my sample here. I'm probably going to set that to about, I've got 1 second there, 2 seconds there, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. Yeah, so I'll say about 2 seconds per sample. Right, set my threshold. So I'm setting my threshold. Setting my threshold to about -24, which is what we did last time. But I'm going to do it to -33 now to make it a bit more sensitive. Right, so here we go. Going to press arm. Let me turn off the mic now and do that. So that's done now. Now let me set the key that I'm going to put that to, because let me see where it is on this keyboard now. So the original key has got to be the C3. So let me just make another MIDI instrument up here. I think you can see that, right? So I'm just going to make another MIDI instrument because I'm going to need to control this sampler. And I keep saying I'm going to wire this on the through, so I don't keep on having to power up all my equipment. Right, so let's see. So I've done that. Let me just go to here. I've got that audio out. Yep, out number 1, MIDI out. Okay, great. So I've got that on MIDI out. That's not receiving yet. So I'm going to turn on some more samplers. Yeah, it's definitely going to get wired on a through, man. All right, so as you can see now, I'm tapping the keyboard. Right, my music keyboard, and as I'm tapping my music keyboard, you can see the keys moving. So all I'm doing is triggering the C where this was actually playing on my sample, just so that I get it in the right place. So original key is going to be that C. Right, I've done something stupid there. I pressed keep instead of place. So let me start again with that one. Going to leave it at C3 because it makes life easier, right? And then I'll just move it key up at a time. Now we're ready to sample the next key, and so on, so on. And I've moved the original key up now, right? Up to the next sample, next keynote. the thing is as well, just backtracking, I've noticed it does normalize. So I think now we should just get rid of the normalize, yeah? Don't have the normalize on it because it might have some unusual compression effects on your sample. So just backtrack, just take the normalize off. I'm going to do that going forward. It might sound a bit weird. There's also some other options on here that you can use, like multi-key voice, right? So I'm wondering if that's more realistic for it. I don't want to confuse you guys, but I'm thinking that you should experiment with that to see how it puts your sample along the keys differently, yeah? All right, guys, now that's all done. And the main thing to do when you're sampling is just to pay attention to what key your actual sample's on and just match it up on the keyboard. It's not really that much drama, to be honest. And now I'm going to press Manage Preset, where you can rename it if you want. So I called it All Amen, like RE for renoise, right? And now I'm going to go back to my DAW. Now this could be Ableton, whatever you want, you know, whatever you choose, whatever your favorite is. You know, my weapon of choice is blatantly renoise, right? All right, so now we're going to go. Oh, actually, no. Before we do that, we got to go back to the sampler. Let's get a nice sampler screen on here for you guys. Bosh, let me see if we get a bigger one. Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to go back to the sampler now, and I'm going to go to the Manage Preset Manage, and you can see it's already on 1. It's already on MIDI 1. So all I need to do now is go back to MIDI 1, move my keyboard octave, check all my octaves on my keyboard. And this should give me something. Hold on. MIDI port out 1. Right, let's just double check that. Okay, I'm not getting anything from the sampler right now. Let's see. Right, let me edit this sample, this preset, and see what's going on there, because it's not showing up anything at the moment, which is not fun. Hold on. I think I know what's going on here. Okay, so I don't think the desk is actually being fed through into the tutorial, right? So let me just hit that button. Let me set that up on my interface here. What a joke. Hold on, let's have a look. Right, there we go. Can't do everything perfect. Right. Yeah, as you can see, it's coming in on 7 and 8. So I'm going to click this here. I'm going to move this up. There we go, guys. We've got it. Right, so this should work now. There we go. All right. So manage preset. Go back to the MIDI. Here we go. Right, have you noticed now where we didn't normalize the samples? They've gone a little bit quiet towards the end. So it's not too bad having the normalize on, actually. So what I've got to do now, I'm gonna have to go through them and just normalize them inside the sampler. So I'm gonna quickly do that now. I kind of got myself in a bit of a confuffle there, you know what I mean? But let me just do that now quickly, and take the mic over here. 1, 2, check. Yeah, mic's in. All right. So where are we? 1, 2, 1, 2. Microphone. Got sun blaring in my eyes here. Right. Let's have a look. 1, 2. There we go. Yeah. Pan to the left. Oh, this is awkward. Why is it pan to the left? God blimey. One thing after the next, isn't it? Damn. This mic's gone left. Width. Whoa. There you go. Yo. All right. So we got it. We got it. All right. So here we go. Right. So I'm in. All right, guys. So let me just pop that in. I don't want to overdo it on the volume on this mic. It does sound all right, though. Right. There we go. Right. Okay. So I'm going to go into here. Going to normalize everything, guys. All the quiet ones. It's literally just should be just a straightforward thing. Get rid of that. Right. So that one, I think they just need normalizing, but in theory, probably wouldn't want to do any normalizing on them initially, but experiment at your own peril, guys. So far, the normalizing actually sounds better. So we need to normalize. So where am I going to find that bleeding thing? Probably gain, actually. Manage, utils. No, where are you going to find that now? Tools. No, I think it would probably be under gain. Let's try the gain. DC filter. Integrity. No. Tools free. Gain. Gain side both. Yeah. What we got here? Gain. No. Oh yeah. Normalize. Plus 11. I'm prang, you know. But anyway, let's give it a go. Let's see what happens here. Let's just hope it's not louder than the rest. Right. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, so we got it. So we're going to go to, I'll give you the exact spot to do it. You want to go to F. You want to go to F3, I believe. Double check it. Tools free, which is F4. My bad. Gain. There you go. Bosh. Just click that. Leave it to about 11 dB. I've got it here. Look. Oh, this one says amount 16 dB. Boy, this is doing its own thing. Yeah, see, that sounds kind of different, but yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with that. F4 gain. And click OK. Same old, same old. It sort of works out automatically, I think. So, hold on. So many functions in this sampler, guys. Gain. There we go. So I've covered the gain anyway. At least I get that out of the way, out of normalize on here. Click OK. Bosh. Right, that should do it now, man. Let's go back to the DAW and see what we've got, guys. Right, Bosh. Switch him off there. Right. Oh, get rid of me mixer. There we go. Right. Right, well, let's see what we got. Yeah, that's all right. Look at that. End sample gives us a little And that was a hell of a lot quicker, man, doing it that way. So, yeah, you know the fundamental foundation way of doing it. Excuse the light, guys. It's gone all mad in here. But you know the foundation way of doing it. I've shown you in the previous video. That was a quick version, a hack version, and 2022 hack. Right, so all you've got to do now is we do the same thing. Let's compare it, and we're going to get this here. I'm going to copy that just so we can hear it. Pop that there, paste it. Then I'm just going to do an instrument swap, so we just want to change all these to ones. Bang, 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 bang. I have no idea if this is going to be the right octave. It actually sounds more fire. Listen. There's a bit of chibbly sorting out in there, but you know, you get the tweak. Look at that. Even with the two of them, sounds lit. Look. Right, so that was at the 162. Bit of tweaking up to do there. A couple of little glitchy bits. But you get my drift. Go in there, tweak it up, tighten your start points, experiment. Yeah, let us know what you think down in the comments, guys. That's it for today's video. Take care. God bless. Peace out.